Hello YouTube, this is Oliver Sherman back with another video. The previous two videos I did were alternate history scenarios surrounding the two world wars. So I thought for the next few videos I could do some actual history about the events of the Second World War. This will be a four-part video series on the Second World War throughout the years, starting from before the war's official outbreak in 1938 all the way to the formal surrender of the Axis in 1945. So, let's set the scene. 1938. So there's tensions between European nations everywhere. Britain and Ireland have had a trade dispute. The United States has had segregation issues and financial issues from the Great Depression. Germany has been vandalizing Jewish homes and properties in an event known as Kristallnacht. The British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain and the German leader Adolf Hitler signed the Munich Agreement, which allowed Germany to annex the Sudetenland. And a bomb went off in a crowded market in Haifa in the Middle East. The Japanese have been advancing through China and Southeast Asia in their invasions of Manchuria and Nanking, which some historians argue was the real official beginning of the Second World War, although for this video I will be sticking to the official outbreak in Europe, as it is the more well-known start to the war. So, now that I have covered the famous events that have taken place in 1938, let's move on to 1939. So with the famous Peace in Our Time speech made by Neville Chamberlain, many in Britain and around Europe are confident in the knowledge that there probably will not be another world war anytime soon. The Germans, however, have been preparing for a war ever since the Nazis came to power. Hitler has rambled on for years on end about how there will be one final war to bring victory to Germany. Meanwhile in Italy, Benito Mussolini has spoken countless times to the Italian public that he will recreate the Roman Empire and annex all of North Africa. And in Imperial Japan, the Japanese Emperor Hirohito has promised his people that Asia will be annexed totally by the Empire of Japan. So with a confident Axis alliance, which has not yet officially been formed, there are tensions on the rise, to say the least. And then on September the 1st, 1939, German troops entered Poland. The surprise attack is what would eventually lead to the Second World War. The day before, Nazi operatives attacked a radio station in Gleiwitz to make it look as if it was attacked by Poles in a propaganda effort to convince Poles in Germany to rise against Hitler. It's all part of the Nazis' excuse to send troops to Poland. On September the 3rd, 1939, Britain and France declare war on Germany. The Second World War has officially begun. On September the 17th, 1939, Soviet troops enter Poland from the east. At first, the Poles think that the Russians are there to rescue them from the advancing Germans. But to their dismay and total horror, the Germans and Soviets have actually decided to cooperate in the annexation of Poland. This was part of the Ribbentrop-Molotov non-aggression pact signed earlier that year. By the end of September, with Warsaw gone and the Soviets and Germans advancing on both sides, the Poles decide to surrender. But the Polish fighting spirit had not been defeated. Many former soldiers and citizens of Poland fled to Hungary or Romania. The others who decided to fight fled to France and Great Britain, where they would officially enlist in their armies. In fact, during the Battle of Britain of 1940, most pilots who took part in that battle were not in fact British, but Polish. And the irony is that in 1945, Poles and Russians would both invade Germany as allies. Thank you for watching. Join me in my second part, where I will be discussing the early years of the war from 1940 to 1941 and the invasions of Russia, Hong Kong, Burma, and the entry of the US. Subscribe, like, comment, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.